Good rising. It is Tuesday, April 1st, 2025, and it's great to be alive. I'm going to get at it right away, peeps. I will be posting this in the back rooms, and I'm going to just jump out the gate and get started. What an incredible week we have ahead. Listen, it is up Uprill? Yeah, it's Uprill. Okay. So here goes. Let us get the universal greeting. I'm going to try to multitask, do a couple of things all at one time, but that's what we're going to do because it's going to be exciting today. And I hope we get some peeps on in here. This will go to the recording, the YouTube, but let's get it. Beijing, ni hao. London, hello, top of the morning to you. Los Angeles, hey. Paris, bonjour. Lisbon, hola. Hong Kong, hello. Sweden, hey. Toronto, good day, hey. Tokyo, konnichiwa. And Turkey, merhaba. My name is True D Art. That is correct. I am True D Art. And if you just let me have a moment here, I'm going to post something. I think I'm going to do it right. But why am I here? Oh boy, I don't think I posted it right, but I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. But let me tell you why I'm here. I'm here to tell you all about the Universe Wallet. The Universe Wallet, BitcoinUniverse.io is it's a wallet, it's an indexer, it's an explorer, it's minting. It's all on BitcoinUniverse.io. There's a marketplace. Listen, it's unleashing Bitcoin's full potential, making the Universe Wallet your all-in-one solution to manage all your assets in one place. Yeah, is if they're Bitcoin assets, you better believe that they're going to be supported over here. Right now, yeah, today, there is support for BRC20, for Dust20, for TAP, for DMT, for UNAT, for Runes, for LRC20, for Lambda, for SRC20, for Stamp, and even Atomicals. Even Atomicals. Atomicals are great. Hey, before we get started, we're going to talk a lot about what's going on in crypto currently, the news, some shilling, some sharing, some incredible opportunities, and why I am on a level 10 excited for the future. Yes, level 10 excited for the future. People, if you want to actually change the trajectory of your life, I am telling you right now, I have teleported to the future and it looks pretty bright. Yes, presently things are looking challenging, but this is why I got to tell you, none of this, again, none of this is financial advice. You got to do your own research. Yes, even when you're getting the information from the so-called mainstream media, you got to research it. How do you research, by the way? You got to ask questions. So I always like to ask 3 questions before we always get started. Hey, do you have your water ready? I've got mine ready already. Yes, and I'm going to sip it now. Please, you got to keep the blood flowing in your body. And if you feel kind of off, then here's another question. Do you have a blood pressure monitor? Yes, you should have a blood pressure monitor because people, you're going to need to keep track of your blood pressure. Absolutely, you will. And what's the third question? Well, mirror check. Got one right in front of me. What have you done for yourself lately? Hey, here's what I'm doing for me specifically. I'm telling myself, hey, go out there, do your best and let it be good, better, best. Never let it rest until the good gets better and the better gets best. That's exactly right. Good, better, best. Never let it rest until the good gets better and the better gets best. Peeps, that's how you got to do it. Here's one of the ways you can even get better because you're good right now because you're here with me. Why not plug myself? Okay. YouTube. Yeah. Go to YouTube and do yourself a solid. Do me a solid. I want your support. I need your support. I'm really, really, really in need of your support. You have the power to help me. And here's how you can help me. You can go to YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. Head over to search and then plug in at Bitcoin Universe. Okay. Hit the search bar and then the Bitcoin Universe page should show up. Yeah, subscribe, like those videos, okay? Tell a friend and they tell 2 friends and so on and so on. And listen, if you still can't find it, in the search bar, put at Bitcoin Universe and then just space, and then just put the word stamp, and it should upload for you. Okay. Let me go out there and see if I'm solo today, because I will do it solo if I need to. But I know that somebody's listening. There's somebody out there that needs this information. There is hope, people. There is hope. Here's what's happening in the world of crypto currently. It is just, let's see, teeter-tottering, up and down. But let me tell you, some good stuff is happening. Okay. So let's get into it. First thing that I want to talk about, price of Bitcoin. Where's it at right now? Bitcoin is doing a nice little bump up there. Absolutely, it is. $85,097.15, up 3.08% today. Very, very nice on the April 1st. Hey, I'm not going to do any of the fooling, okay? Not me. I'm not doing any of the fooling. And I'll tell you, people are doing some fooling. I will tell you, because I do like to scour the crypto Twitter. I saw there and I was so shocked, let me tell you. So shocked that one of the bigger names out there, I'll tell you who he is, Francis Dune Uncensored. I was shocked. I actually, he got me today. He says, hello, everyone. It's been quite a journey, but I believe it's time to call it quits. And so he dropped this video. He's walking in the video. There's this beautiful beach behind him. Crystal blue waters. Can see right through him. You could pluck a fish out of the water if you wanted to. That's how clear the water is. So wherever he is, it's quite lovely. And he's walking the beach, and then he says, I'm going to call it quits. It's time to pack it up, you know. And this is kind of a big deal, because he's pretty big in the Bitcoin space. Yeah, he's the one who actually created Sats Pump Fun. Sats Pump Fun, yeah. So very shocked that he was leaving. But guess what, peeps? You had to watch till the end, because he's not going anywhere. None of us are going anywhere. Okay. He knows it's too good to leave. It's just getting started. So let me tell you, if you're not buckled in, if you don't have your seatbelt on, it is going to be such a fast ride here, peeps, and you don't want to miss it, and you want to stay safe. So here's what I'm going to do for us. I'm going to share a little bit about what is actually happening, so that everybody has some context to how this Bitcoin things work. Okay. So cryptocurrency, the prices are in flux. And today I am going to grab some of this information from Investors Business Daily. Investor Business Daily. When I'm using other people's words, I always want to give them credit. So again, this is from Investors Business Daily. And if anybody wants to talk, if anybody jumps in here, then just pop in here and say, hey, Trudy, I got something to say. And I'll just stop and you can say that. But listen, so cryptocurrency prices are, as the market awaits DTs. Oh my God. If you could see me right now, I'm doing the air quotes, Libertarian Day. Yeah, Libertarian Day. Okay, so the tariffs are set to roll out on Wednesday and Thursday. You know, the tariffs for Canada, Mexico. Actually, heads up, people. He's now decided, DT has decided, come closer, the tariffs are for the entire globe. Yeah. He's putting the entire globe on notice that there's going to be tariffs everywhere. And, you know, I should not make light of this. Why? Because there are people out there that are fretting. They are people out there in crypto currently that are crying in their bear, but there are people actually, you know, in the 9-to-5 world that are working hard, that are busting their butts, that are out there trying to make heads or tail of this. And this is quite troubling and unsettling. It's causing sleepless nights for people. I can tell you, in fact, there's a lot of uproar going on in North America specific. In Canada, there's a lot of stuff happening out in Canada with Canadians really feeling like, you know, now is the time maybe for a change in their government to try to manage all of what DT has on the table here. Okay. So there's a lot of serious things. So I don't mean to make light. My optimism is based on my own data. My optimism is based on my own research. Okay. And I must say that there are real concerns happening. Okay. There's a ton of stuff happening in the US of A. There's a lot of people protesting, especially at Mr. Musk's Tesla. And that's a tough one, right? Because many people bought Teslas. And I mean, I don't personally own one, but I know a lot of people that own Teslas. And listen, they didn't know that this was going to happen. So it's kind of tough, right? It's a tough game right now because how can you go after people that spent their hard-earned money to buy these vehicles? You're taking it out on the wrong people, okay? You really are. You got to think about this. You got to go and do a mirror check because they didn't know. All they did was buy a vehicle. They just wanted to save on, gas. And they thought it would be more economical. And now it's becoming a bit of a danger to drive a Tesla. Oof. So that's kind of not good, right? And I will tell you, there's a ton that is going to be happening this week. Again, DT is going to roll out the Libertarian Day. This coming Saturday, April 5th, they're about to ban TikTok. Yeah, they're about to ban TikTok. And then there's talk of like major protests that are going to happen on Saturday. And what I can say to you is, people, it's time to dive down deep into the research. What research? The research of how you can actually take this time to turn around the trajectory of your life, to actually turn things around for yourself. There is so much opportunity going on right now in Bitcoin. There's projects in the ordinal space. Yeah, in the ordinal space, people, that if you actually research some of these projects, you can take yourself from zero to hero. I'm going to tell you how you can do that. There are opportunities within DMT. They have so much going on in there. Do you even know what digital matter theory is? I mean, these are some of the things that you should be writing on your bingo card and then go and research them. Because why? Hey, listen, why are people angry right now? They're angry right now because their pocketbook, right? Their pocketbook is being picked. Yeah, their wallet is getting lighter. It's not fun. That means that they're going to have a harder time putting food on the table, roof over the head. Okay. There is another world, though. There's another world. And the other world is this digital world. And the strongest and most exciting opportunity is the Bitcoin space right now. So many are here thinking, okay, well, I can't get into Bitcoin. It's too late. It's absolutely not. It's actually really early. And so there's smaller projects happening within Bitcoin. And I'm going to speak broadly, and I'm going to also kind of laser in, but broadly because hopefully there are some new ears coming into the space, coming into onto the YouTube. And maybe you're hearing this for the first time. And I got to tell you, Bitcoin is hope. Okay. So Bitcoin is hope. So let's get into it. So Bitcoin digital asset prices, hey, they rose modestly earlier today. Okay. And one analyst says there's a 50-50 shot to see Bitcoin rebound further or dive. Okay. Like, see, there right now, because of DT's approach, there's caution in the market. Let me just put it that way. Okay, here's a quote. As Libertarian Day approaches, the uncertainty around the magnitude of tariffs is keeping Bitcoin and other risk assets in limbo. Exactly. That's what I just said. Now, that was a quote from Nick Puckrin. He is a crypto analyst and a co-founder of the Coin Bureau. That's an educational crypto outlet. And I really think that that's what people need. They need education, because if they got the education, they would be less agitated. Yeah, really. Absolutely. Okay. So Puckrin noted that Bitcoin has closed at its most recent CME gap that opened over the weekend. So that's at around 83,000 to 84,000 level. Okay. So a CME gap actually represents the price disparities between the opening and the closing price of the Chicago Mercantile Index Exchange, sorry, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So that's the CME, okay? However, Bitcoin is now trading below its 200-day average. So while in the last 24 hours, liquidations remain low, under 250 million. Yeah, listen to that, right? 250 million, not a big deal. That indicates momentum could actually again be on the downside. This is according to Puckrin, again, Coin Bureau educational platform. Okay, so this is a quote. Until there's more certainty around tariffs, obviously, this range pattern will continue. But if we get closer, if we get softer news than feared, okay, so let's say DT pulls back a little bit or some sort of concessions, peeps, I don't know, but he does like wrestling. I hate to say this. I mean, it is a little bit of a like, what are you talking about? The man was on The Apprentice. He loves wrestling. He is big into the drama of it all. And if you've ever run a business, in some cases you got to fake it till you make it. Okay. I should know. I've run a business. I've run a business and I've been the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. And at the same time, I'm running the business and acting like, I'm not doing all the stuff in the back. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I have. Answering my own calls like I'm the assistant. Sometimes you got to do that. Sounds crazy, but listen, he is doing a lot. Okay? So that's why people are saying, you know what? It all depends upon what DT does. Literally. Because this is a little bit unprecedented to see this much activity in this short span of time. Unprecedented. Try to go and look and see if any other president has done that. Okay. So until there's more clarity, things are going to go up and down. But if we get softer news, like we said, the fears are that some sort of concessions could see a breakout from the current trading pattern. That is correct. So if that occurs, then Puckrin expects 88,000 to be the short-term price to watch. Why is this important? Well, this is important if you are glued to the news because the news is going to penetrate your psyche, and the news potentially is going to penetrate how you treat your bags. Are you going to buy and hodl? Are you going to take this as an opportunity to actually jump in there and stack some sats? I don't know. Some peeps are, some aren't. So, for instance, let me just tell you. Okay, here's a for instance. There's a pretty big mint that's about to happen. But actually, before I do that, let me set this up a little bit. Here's why you actually need to get more grounded in this information. Here's why you need to get more grounded in. And here's why I would love if people could share and chill, because we need that opportunity. In the AI space, I've been keeping a really, really keen eye on this, okay? There's a project out there. They're not Bitcoin related, but relevant. And they are actually talking about creating a whole entire world. Yeah, a whole entire world that actually does not involve humans. Okay. So here is what they're saying. And this is exactly why we need to start. We need to start taking this more seriously. At least I think we need to do. Okay. They're creating an entire universe, an entire nation. Okay. They're building an entire nation with AIs. So it's a nation in beta. They're going to have AIs that actually will start music studios. These AIs will start investment funds. These AIs will trade with one another. There'll be no human interaction. and they're going to build out these worlds. Um, and they are building out these worlds as I speak, actually. So there are AI agents that are focused on providing you technical analysis. There are AI agents that are focused on the music industry. There are AI agents that are focused on travel. And they're going to be doing commerce with one another. And one of the things that they're saying is these agents will be doing this 24/7 with no sleep. Okay. And then they're going to turn around and be the investors of the other agents. So it's not really going to involve us because they figured out a way to make AI agents into actual an economy where they can just connect with one another. That's a pretty big deal. And in fact, that little bit of information was backed up by NVIDIA. And NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang has said that every company will become an AI factory. Every company will become an AI factory. So as we're seeing the rise of discontentment with DT's policies and people being concerned about what's going to happen in their future, in all likelihood, the future is not going to be dependent upon human interaction, at least in the financial world. Yeah. So that means that this is potentially going to um, it's going to affect you in ways that you might have not imagined. There could be like, well, there will be opportunities where AI will actually take over different spaces of the economy. Um, Automation is doing that as we speak. Humanoids will actually do that. And where does that leave you? I don't think that now is the time to be just upset and angry. I think it's time to look at some options here. Bitcoin is an absolute option. If you can learn the space today, if you can start connecting with the people in the space, then you can start to maneuver yourself inside of the space. But it's going to be tough. Why? Because here's what we're going to tell you in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is freedom technology, okay? It's peer-to-peer movement, and it's a place where people create things. It's a place where people thrive in creativity. So we're going to be telling you, hey, you may want to pick up some art. You may want to pick up some PFPs. Yeah, PFPs of dogs, of cats, of rats, of all barnyard animals. And how's that going to connect to your brain if you're at a 9 to 5 right now? It's going to be tough. So he got to get over here today. Like, listen, okay, there's a mint happening this week. And the mint is, no, it's actually happening next week. It's happening on April 8th. It's with at Lunatics BTC. Okay. And they are going to do a massive mint for the at Lunatics community. And right now, if you are not whitelisted, then you should probably go and follow at Lunatics BTC. Because here's what's going to happen. On April 8th, you're going to go in and you're going to be able to mint one of these Lunatics. There's going to be 333 uh, 333 total. And the minting will open up to all of the folks that were whitelisted. And it's around $30, $30 to actually mint one of these. And why would minting one of these matter? Because this is how it works in crypto currently, especially on Bitcoin. These things are fun, they're exciting. And one PFP, one piece of artwork can literally, because I've seen it happen, can help you to stack sats in a bigger way than you can understand. I've seen projects where a $10 mint has turned into, let's put it in Bitcoin. Okay, I always like to put it in Bitcoin. $10 mint has turned into 0.035 Bitcoin. 0.035 Bitcoin. Okay, so you started off with 0.00012 BTC, and then that mint goes to 0.035 BTC. And I've seen a pattern where many people are not just minting one, they're minting multiples, and they're changing their lives. Yeah, from this artwork. Like some of this artwork is great. Some of this artwork you'll want to hodl, but some of this artwork can actually help you to to not only stack sats and get closer to 1 Bitcoin, but it can actually just help you. It can change your life. Imagine that. So the AI is taking over the physical world. Okay, how are they doing that? Well, through automation, all of what I just mentioned to you. You need to be looking at the digital world. Peeps, I get it. It's tough out there, but get in here and look at some of the stuff that you can do on Bitcoin. So check this out at Lunatics BTC, and that mint is happening within the next 24 hours. Here's another thing also, okay, because I always like to plug the universe. Go to Bitcoin. BitcoinUniverse.io. And here are some ideas for you. Ideals, not ideals. Ideas, okay? Remember I talked about the name registration? I'm telling you, I'm gonna drop some really good ones for you. Here's another one for you. If you go over to BitcoinUniverse.io, okay, here's another way to stack sats. Here's another way to stack sats. So this is another opportunity for you. Go to domain names. Domain names, okay, and that's under register. And then you will see the .sats. Right now, I see the last one here, stack.sats. Okay. How about stonk.sats? Stonk.sats. How about dumbmoney.sats? Dumbmoney.sats. Okay. Why some of these? Because I'm telling you, peeps, anything that is trending within the headlines is going to actually be an opportunity for the future. And unfortunately, there are some headlines that are trending that may not be so great, but you can actually look at those as opportunities too. Think about, actually, you know what? I don't want to say it, but I gotta say it. Okay, let's look at, there is a tough headline right now. Okay, I'm just going to say it. The AG today, okay, has come out and they have said that, oh boy, you know what? I don't know. I think that's too tough. I'm not going to do it. Okay, I'm going to pedal back from that. But yeah, go to BitcoinUniverse.io and think about registering some names. .sats, .btc. Okay, go to universe.io and look at picking up some art. Okay, in fact, here's an interesting thing in the art space. There are two types of art that you want to look at when you come to Bitcoin. There's the PFP art, and that's typically the stuff that the degens love because that's the personal profile pictures, and that's kind of like their it's kind of like their status symbols. You know, if you have a pups, the wizards, the cats, the quantum cats, you know, that's like having a Rolex. That's like having a Benz. And so those are some of the ways that the degens kind of do the flex on you, is through that PFP art, because that art tends to it acts almost like as an art token. Okay, as an art token. And then there's the stuff that's kind of like the art from the real world, the art that you're used to, the abstract, the the kind of the stuff that you would see in the galleries, okay? And I think that there's collectors that will come for that type of art. And some of that art you can actually find, obviously, on the ordinal space, but you can find that on the stamp space. Sometimes it's kind of art that is collector based. It's art that has a theme to it. And so if you go into the stamp space, the theme kind of is around the Pepe art. So I would be looking at how to actually benefit from jumping into that whole genre of the collectors, because the collectors are actually coming. And once they arrive here, I can tell you that collectors are more than likely going to be drawn to art that has a little bit more than just fun PFPs. They're going to want art that has immutability, art that has security to it. And when you're listen, there was actually some information coming out today that there are projects, in fact, that are sitting on ETH that they're now shuttering those projects. They're pivoting, they're getting out of them, they're closing out of them. And if the projects are no longer going to be supporting the artwork, that means potentially your art is gone because it's on a Amazon web server. It literally is on a centralized pointer, which Bitcoin isn't. Bitcoin is decentralized. Bitcoin is being protected by individuals all across the planet. So if you're a collector, that's going to be really exciting. Yeah, absolutely exciting that you have this immutable art. And I can tell you that with the origins of Pepe coming from the counterparty movement and now evolving into the stamp movement, this is a collector's dream, an absolute dream. So if you are wanting to have a way of stacking sats, peeps, you've got to start getting into the art. And actually that's what I've been doing. I've been looking at, okay, how do I really start moving into this and stacking sats and getting into the art? And in fact, put this on your bingo card, okay? Because this is really important. There is a documentary that is going to be coming out on Netflix called Minted. It's actually quite an old documentary, but it's resurfacing. Why would that be resurfacing? That is because there is a plan. Yes, there is a plan for NFTs, and they're going to come back in a big way. So put that on your bingo card to perhaps take in that documentary called Minted. Let me just make sure it's called Minted. And basically in this document, yes, it's called Minted. It actually came out in 2023, but I think it went under the radar unless some of you have already seen it. So it's a fascinating look at the intersection of art, commerce, and digital ownership through the rise and crash of the NFT market. A fascinating look indeed, because it starts off with the first artist really to make headway, which was Bleeple. Okay, Beeple. And Beeple, his first piece, like he'd been doing art for forever. He started, oh my God, really early. And he was doing art just for fun. Like he was into digital art specifically. So he would do one piece every day. And he did that one piece over a time span of like 10 years, like every single day. And so once he heard about the NFTs, he thought, oh, okay, let me just see if I, you know, sell some of this artwork. And he was shocked. His first piece he put up and he made about $1,000 just from his creation, and he'd never sold them before. And so he started doing that over and over again. And then he started getting a lot of eyes on him because he's actually really talented. And in fact, he was approached by Christie's auction house, and they auctioned off his first NFT, which was a collage of all of his NFTs that he'd done over the last, say, decade. And it actually was auctioned off for 69 million USD. Okay. Now I think it was that all in ETH? But it was $69 million. Okay. Now, obviously, that was a big deal, as you know, and things started to pop off. But guess what wasn't really in the zeitgeist? Bitcoin art. No, because Bitcoin was kind of like its own little quiet punk movement, this cyberpunk movement that not too many people knew about. Now, with this documentary coming out again, because it's just being re-released on Netflix, I am telling you, because I kind of watch patterns. There's a plan, and the plan is that they're going to pump money into the art, but it's not just going to be any art. It's going to be Bitcoin. Why is it going to be Bitcoin? Because, boy, people, they've got big plans for Bitcoin. Okay, they've got big plans for Bitcoin. I keep repeating myself, but that's because oh,
I just wanted to say you disappeared, but you're back.
oh, I disappeared.
Yeah, it went. I couldn't hear a word for just a few seconds.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I was saying that keep an eye on if you want to make some serious bag, like serious, like you have to start focusing on the art because now uh the powers that be are telling us that's where the money is going. Okay. The money is going to the art because Netflix is a part of the machine, and Netflix is not just going to have a documentary pop up for nothing. That's to get in the brain computer of all of us so that we FOMO into the stuff that they've already bought. Now, I don't believe that all of the money has come to art as yet. And when I'm talking the money, I mean the corporate money, the Silicon Valley money, and even the money from the government. Because believe it or not, call me crazy, but they're going to buy the art too. Okay. I used to work in the corporate world, people. So I imagine that I still know how they think. Yeah, I imagine that I still know how they think. Okay. I have not ever worked in the government, but I can only imagine that governments work similar to corporations. Okay. Um, I am also a creative person, as you all are. You're all creative. So use your imagination. If you think it, it's being done. Okay. So I will tell you that artwork is going to actually be big within crypto again. Okay. NFTs are coming back and they're going to actually happen in a big way on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is where it's all going to happen. Okay. So if that is the case, then I would actually be focused on where are the projects? What projects can you actually jump into on Bitcoin? Because you can mint for 10, 30 bucks. And I am not kidding because I've seen it happen. You can turn those mints into 3,000. You can pick up artwork right now for, let's say, how much can you pick up artwork for? 0.0012 BTC. Okay, right now. And I don't have a crystal ball, but I can tell you that because that art is specifically on Bitcoin, it's going to be viewed more, it's going to be viewed as a more rare asset than it would be as if it were on, say, ETH. Because once you buy that artwork is literally tied to the chain, the mother chain, the God chain. And that's why I say there's two types of art. And the documentary will, in fact, tell you that. There's the PFP art, which is token. It's like a token. And that's the stuff that the degens trade. So, like your Bitcoin frogs, your let's see what the pups, okay, and I said the quantum cats, the wizards, those type of projects, okay. And then there's going to be the other stuff that's kind of just like the collector stuff. So it's like, okay, I got this piece, and then I want the next one and the next one and the next one to complete out my collection. Okay, I'm going to give you, for instance, okay, I'm jumping back and forth. Yeah, that's how I do it. But I'm going to give you, for instance, in the NFT space, or sorry, the stamp space, the collections would almost, you'd almost, okay, so if you take a look at HNFT Pepe, for instance, he's not here, but I'm going to tell you, I think this guy is talented. No joke. I think he's extremely talented because I'm hunting right now for people to collect. Extremely talented, and I think he has a way of doing art that is going to be very desirable. Why? He focuses on compressionism, which all of the artists within the stamps world, they have to. And they focus on taking pieces and working in the file constraints of the parameters of the stamp. Because with the stamp, as we all know, if you're here already, stamps are glued. Yeah, glued through the UTXO to Bitcoin. So they can't be removed, like, say, your quantum cats could potentially be removed. I know they don't want to hear that, but it could be because it's in the witness data. Okay. It likely won't be, but it could be. So, because of the rarity of stamps, I am taking a look at putting a portion of my art budget into stamps. So, let's say that I had a percentage, okay? Let's say I was doing it percentage. I would probably do 80% stamps and 20% ordinals. I would not fade ordinals. If people say, "Oh, well, ordinals can be erased," so what? I so what? They're not going to be today. And you know what? They trade those things like art tokens. Yeah, you like the mint that's coming up next week, the April 8th, the Lunatics mint. That's a $30 mint. It's some great art. You can keep it forever if you'd like, but I'm telling you, I imagine that that project is going to do some pretty potentially powerful things. Okay, pretty powerful things. They've got a big community that's backing that project. There's a ton of artists that are actually participating in the project. And that then gives us the opportunity to stack sats. So we can take a $30 mint and maybe turn it into, let's see, I'll give it to you always in Bitcoin, 0.0012 BTC. I don't know if it's if it's that popular right now in a bear market. What do you think it's going to be when the rest of them pile on in here? And they are coming. They are 100%, in my opinion, they are coming. We are going to see record setting, um, game changing prices for some of this artwork. Okay. Once the liquidity starts to come in, you won't be able to get in. Okay. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to be able to get in. Okay. I checked the mempool, like there's nobody there. There's nobody there in the mempool. And this is the time we need to be there, people. It's Deadsville. There was like one block yesterday. I felt so bad. I wanted to just do a transaction to help them out. Okay. You don't think those miners are in the background going, "Hey, boys, what's going on here?" They're like, "Don't worry. We got it. We got it. It's coming. Get ready." Because once the liquidity comes, it's going to be so backed up. Okay, you know that RBF, we're going to be using the RBF, the replace by fee. Okay. And by the way, talking of replace by fee, oh my God. Sorry, I do a lot of by the ways. Did you see Satoshi's wallet? Guys, did you see that? Anybody? Um, yeah, let me just some activity on the wallet today. Okay. Listen, just in. This was 4 hours ago. Satoshi Nakamoto. Hey, I'm just reading this. Bitcoin wallet just moved 2000 BTC for the first time since 2009. I don't know. What does that mean? Is he going to come and crash the market? If he sells that, he's going to crash the market. That's about 178 million BTC. Uh, yeah, he moved that. Okay. It's a Satoshi Nakamoto Bitcoin wallet. I, I, I don't know what to tell you, but the last time anything was moved was 2009. Okay. And with a fee for that, oh my God, 536,000 sats. Not bad. Not bad. That's probably why he moved it because it's so slow. Good for him. That's probably why he moved it. But what is what's going to happen, I wonder, with that? Even if there is a further, I hate talking negative. It's so gross to me. Just okay, just a little thing. When I pause, it's because in my brain computer I'm like, no, don't use that word. Don't use that word. Words actually matter, okay? Words matter. Words are how you actually change the trajectory of your whole entire life. So words matter. Okay. Yeah, it's true. They do. Oh, okay, let me just jump on here. It's true, words matter. You have to be very careful. I'll say something for you in Canada out there. Alberta. Yeah, you better go check on them. They want to leave. Okay, so words matter. They're taking 47's plan pretty serious there. Okay. I think they call it succession or something. Secession. They're trying to leave, people. They're trying to leave. Okay, so let's get back at it here. So there's some pretty powerful art projects. I'm going in and out. There's so much going on my brain computer here. There's some pretty powerful art projects. I talked about the Lunatics. Make sure that you take a look at that. If you have one that you'd like to share, then jump in on here. There's even something that I heard about here. I haven't really looked too much into it, and I hate to bring it up, but I find it so compelling that I just at least want to mention it. Okay. AI powered racing horses on Bitcoin. You can breed and race for sats. Oh my. This is why you have to get out of the physical world. Get off of, like, I get it. There's a ton of stuff happening, but I'm not so sure that the marches are going to be effective. Why am I not sure? Because they have a whole plan here. And the plan is happening with or without us. And the distractions are piling up. Yeah, in fact, I am going to say it. I just have to. Today, the Attorney General, okay, if you're familiar with that case with that Luigi young man who is being allegedly, he is the individual that was involved in, he unalived, yes, that is the word that I will use. He unalived a CEO of a medical company because he had some grievances with the CEO. And because he unalived him, obviously, they had to take him into custody. And that's going to actually go to trial soon. While the AG is announced the highest form of penalty. Like, if he gets he's going to be unalived. Okay. The state will unalive him also. Why am I mentioning this? All of a sudden, this comes out this week. Okay. all of a sudden, all this stuff is happening. Uh, DT is deciding to tariff the whole entire globe. hmm Okay. April 5th, look it up. There's a ton of stuff happening there. TikTok is supposed to be going offline on April 5th. There's supposed to be some yellow jacket type protests all across the country. People, these are distractions. And while they're doing all that, they're setting up worlds within the digital space. How are you going to feel if you're out on the outskirts of all of this and you jump into this world and you hear that people are actually racing their racing AI horses on Bitcoin? Yeah, that's what they're doing. That's why we have to come in here, shill and share. Did any of you know that you could race horses? Okay. If you want to check that, hey, I haven't checked this out. You can go to at Bitcoin Derby. Okay, at Bitcoin Derby. This is the Equinals Mint Day is upon us, they say. Join our spaces. That's tomorrow to talk minting rush, Equinals, alpha, game theory, and more. Okay, that space has passed. That space has passed. But odd racing horses, AI horses. Yeah, you're going to need to buy some art. I'm not playing with you. You're going to need to buy some art. There's not going to be any way that you can make money in the physical world. This is what they're doing now. Every abstraction that you can imagine is coming over here. So when I tell you to go to the Bitcoin universe and go check out some of the projects, some of the tools, some of the opportunities, please do it and tell me what you're doing so I'll know about it. Like, for instance, again, head over to bitcoinuniverse.io because I'm always going to plug these guys. Here's something that nobody's talking about that I think they need to talk about. They need to look into because I think this will be a big narrative also. Dust 20. Beeps, you got to look into Dust 20. Okay, you got to start looking into Dust 20 and why Dust 20 is so important. Okay, gets rid of those nasty inscriptions. Because if you can actually get rid of those inscriptions, and then that helps you out with your ROI. Okay, so take a look at Dust 20. In fact, a marketplace was actually built out for Dust 20. Tokens are being created under the Dust 20 protocol. And in the Dust 20 protocol, like I said, it gets rid of those inscriptions. And some of the tokens, or at least I believe one of the most important token, if you're hunting for sats, for when hunting to actually stack sats, okay, hunting to stack sats, go over to the marketplace, Bitcoin Universe, click Dust 20. And the most important token, I think, is the Dust token. I think every time a new protocol is created and they create a token that is the name of the protocol, well, that's gold. Yeah, that's just how it works. Hello, Trump token. That's the family token. Sorry, Melania. You can't, after you do the Trump, like that's the brand. Anything after that, it's I don't know, right? So Dust 20, Dust. Okay. There are some pretty good buys on the Dust stuff. So I'd be taking a look at that. You can pick up 90 Dust for how many sats? Actually, you could pick up 90 Dust for 0.00005598 sats. You may want a time machine later. Okay. Dust 20. It's like stamp token. Ordinals, ordi. That's how it kind of works. Okay. And by the way, speaking of ordinals and ordi, this is a little bit of a rumor, but keep your eyes on ordi because ordi might become a reserve asset for some unknown companies right now within the crypto space. And maybe that was just maybe somebody was just making some stuff up. Maybe it's just a rumor, but the source is a pretty good source, and they're saying that there's going to be some utility coming for ordi. So if you still have ordi, you may want to hang on to it because rumor has it that there's going to be some utility in the background. Okay, and that's the other thing is a lot of the stuff that many are complaining about. Ansem, yeah, have you seen that? He says that he lost more money from ordinals than he did with. I don't think so, buddy. I don't think so. Okay, everybody is down right now, but I am telling you, oh my God, if they only knew, they only knew. It's going to come back in such a big way that you're going to want to like literally go backwards to try to undo some of the procrastination that you may have right now. Yeah, literally the procrastination that you have right now. Hey, by the way, I did mention that there was a conference coming to, I think it's Toronto. It's the Consensus 2025. And it says, guess who's going to be there? The White House. Okay. Wall Street, Silicon Valley. Here's some of the guests that they have lined up. Just so that you can understand how serious this stuff is. Okay. Before it wasn't serious. Well, it was serious, but it wasn't serious on the largest scale, which is the governmental scale, because the government can literally put you behind bars for anything. Just ask a lot of the Bitcoin people. Yeah, they literally did that. But now they're opening up the doors. Okay. So here's some of the guests. There's going to be Robert Bo Hines. He's executive director of the President's Council of Advisors for Digital Assets. He's going to be at that crypto conference in Toronto. Okay. Then there's Adrienne A. Harris. She's a superintendent of New York Department of Financial Services. Interesting. Oh God, Barstool guy is going to be there. That Portnoy. Okay, the Portnoy guy is going to be there. The Dave guy. Okay, whatever. Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank is going to be there. You know him. Then there's going to be Charles, the Ada. Yeah, is he Ada? Yeah, that guy. Does anybody have Ada? Oh, and the Scaramucci guy. He's going to be there too. And he's with Skybridge Capital. And obviously, he's the big Wall Street guy there, as is Mr. Wonderful. So they're coming to a conference. Why are they coming to a conference for crypto? Because they're going to head in here in a big way, and all roads are going to end up on Bitcoin. There's no debate anymore. They're heading on Bitcoin. Okay. Yeah, so they're heading on Bitcoin. There's lots more that I could say, but I'm gonna see if anybody wants to say anything. And let me just tell you what's coming up this week if you want some financial stuff to look forward to, okay? Because that's the thing. People now that Hollywood, yeah, Hollywood is already there, let me tell you. But now that Wall Street, the governments, and all of that is coming to crypto, crypto is going to behave a lot like the stock market. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. So look at the stock market. The stock market has like tide goes in, tide goes out, tide goes in, tide goes out. Yeah, there's going to be little opportunities that you're going to have if you learn this system. Okay. I don't think right about now. If you're new, if you're intermediary, I would probably just buy and hold. But if you are well versed in this stuff, you're going to have so much opportunity to do a lot of the trading stuff. Okay. And a lot of the data that comes out of the financial world is going to affect crypto. Okay. So this week, like Monday, yesterday, there was the Chicago PMI. Today, there's the construction spending and the ISM manufacturing index. These are all indicators of what's going to help to either increase or perhaps pull back the market. These are all indicators that the traders look at, okay, or metrics that they look at. Wednesday, they're looking at the ADP employment change. Then they're going to look at the EIA crude oil inventories, factory indicators, MBA mortgage applications index. Thursday, they're going to be looking at continuing claims, EIA natural gas inventories, initial claims, ISM services, trade balance, and Friday, the non-farm payrolls, average work week, average hourly earnings, unemployment rate. This is all the data that these guys are looking at, okay? And based on this data, you're going to see our markets, meaning the crypto markets, being affected by all of this. Why? Because they're now in the market. The professionals have arrived. This is not a degen space anymore. I see on the timeline, oh my God, what is happening? They canceled the bull run. No, they didn't cancel it. It's just you got new players now. These suckers are going to try to push you out. Yeah, these suckers are going to try to push you out. Okay, they're weakening the peoples. They want you to leave your positions. They want you to go home. They want you to cry in your bear market. And what they're doing is they're patient. They have the algorithms. They can front run us. Not really, because we're already here, but they can sometimes jump ahead of our trades. But again, you're already here. And that's why I'm saying this is the time to stack those sats. Believe it or not, they're going to, in my opinion, they're going to buy art on Bitcoin in a big way. They're going to be buying tokens on Bitcoin in a big way because they're also degens too. A lot of traders are degens. And at the end of the day, they don't care if they bought fart coin. As long as their client doesn't really know, it'll be in the prospectus, right? Because anytime these guys have funds, they have to have these things called prospectus that outlines what they do and don't do. Many people don't read that. Here's the irony, okay? Here's the irony. Many people that are out on the front lines now, right now, marching, guess what? Tesla is in your Tesla's in those funds that you have. It's a part of your pension fund, okay? So you're actually fighting to make yourself weaker. It's the irony. We're all connected, okay? So these guys are going to come in here and they're going to be buying stuff from DUS. They're going to be buying stuff from Stamp. Name registrations. Who will be buying that? There will be individuals that buy name registrations. There will be definitely individuals that buy name registrations. The big guys are going to come in and they're going to go into bitmaps. They're going to go into UNATs. They're going to go into DMT. They're going to go into TAP. They're going to go into, I said Stamp, but I'll say it again. I think Stamp's going to be very interesting for them. In fact, I think they're going to use Stamp for a bigger railway. If you have also been watching the BlackRock guy, okay, he's now saying that they can tokenize everything. He keeps saying that, and I don't know if anybody's listening, but they can tokenize everything. They can tokenize everything. That means we're going to have a world where everything that moves or doesn't move will be on some type of system where it's tokenized. You know that house you live in? Yeah, you know that house you live in? You may not be able to afford it, right? You can tokenize it. You can tokenize it. You can actually have people be shareholders in that house, unit holders in the house through the blockchain. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so how will they benefit from that? Oh, they'll figure out a way to benefit from that. They'll figure out a way how to make your house a tradable asset so that you can live in it while others own it. Okay. That's what derivatives are. That's what derivatives are, people. They are very creative. They're very creative. So they're coming here. Okay. I've shared as much as I'm going to share. Does anybody want to share anything here? Because I got so much coming out of me here. I got so much coming out of me here. There's that too. There's a quote that I wanted to share because I always like to take a look at what's happening there. Okay, this guy, got to follow him. He's at Noxinals. At Noxinals. Okay, so at Noxinals. Here's what he says, and I love this. This is not a space for merchants of doubt, nor for gamblers of fate. Bitcoin's ecosystem is a testament to resilience, a temple of cryptographic defiance. The weak hands melt away like wax before fire, while the steadfast remain shaping the very fabric of tomorrow. Oh my God. Respectfully, that had me tingling. Okay. Love your words, whoever you are. My God, that is amazing. Okay, so amazing. I'm going to read it one more time. This is what he says. Okay, or he or she. I don't know who it is, but this is what this individual says. Because again, they're a PFP. See what I'm talking about? They're a PFP. Think about that. And they're a Bitcoin PFP too. This is not a space for merchants of doubt, nor for gamblers of fate. Bitcoin's ecosystem is a testament to resilience, a temple of cryptographic defiance. The weak hands melt away like wax before fire, while the steadfast remain, shaping the very fabric of tomorrow. This is awesome. This is serious. And it's also fun. And it's time for you to think about how you're actually gonna make it or break it in these spaces. Gonna make it or break it in these spaces. Okay. I think that's it for me. I think that's it for me. I do want to talk to somebody. I do want to talk to somebody before I go, just so I can have another voice on here. Somebody just want to jump in here and say hi. Let's see who's out there. Oh, hey, Sadie. Oh, my God. HNFT Pepe. How kind of you, sir. I know that you're busy with all your art that you're doing. Mats. Hey, tennis coach. Nice to see Top Dev. And hopefully there was some other folks in there. Yes. Hopefully there was some other folks in there. Peeps. We're going